Hello everyone, I am Balaji Rao. Welcome to BR Max class. This is first class on vector algebra. Vector algebra chapter is easy or difficult. If you understand theory part of vector algebra, if you understand geometrical meaning of all the definitions, then this chapter is very easy, dead easy. If you do not know the geometrical meaning of all the definitions, problematic part you can do very easily. But you can enjoy this chapter only when you know geometrical meaning of all the definitions. In this class, we are going to learn the definition of scalar with examples and definition of vector with example, and important one is how we represent a vector in mathematics. These things we are going to learn in this class. Before going to start this video, please drop a like for this video. Without much delay, let's begin the class. Physical quantities are mainly divided into two parts. Physical quantities which are having only magnitude but no direction are known as scalar. A physical quantity which is having magnitude but no direction. Example, suppose height. If someone asks what is your height, you will ask from which direction? From top to bottom or bottom to top, like that you will ask. If your height is 5 feet, you will say 5 feet, or you will say in centimeters, right? But for the height, no need of any direction, correct or not? So, height is a physical quantity which is needed only magnitude but no direction, okay? Height is the example for scalar. It is the physical quantity which is having only magnitude but no direction. Another one, time. Time is a physical quantity which is having only magnitude but no direction. If someone asks what is time now, you will ask that clockwise direction, anti-clockwise direction, straight, left, something like that you will ask. No. If the time is 4 o'clock, you will say 4. If the time is 3 o'clock, you will say 3. So, time is a physical quantity which is having only magnitude but no direction. Area. Area is a physical quantity which is having only magnitude but no direction. If someone asks how much land you have, you will say 1 acre, 2 acre, 3 acres, like that you will say. You won't say what direction your area is. I hope you are understanding. So, what you learn now? You learn about scalar. What is scalar? A physical quantity which is having magnitude but no direction is called a scalar. And one important point is, we treat every real number as a scalar. 5, it is a number, this is treated as scalar. 10, number, it is scalar. 1 by 2 is a scalar. Every real number is treated as a scalar. What is scalar? A physical quantity which is having only magnitude but no direction. So, you learn about scalar. What is vector? A physical quantity which is having both magnitude as well as direction. A physical quantity which is having both magnitude and direction is known as vector. For example, force. Force is a vector quantity. I'll try to explain this. To explain force is a vector quantity, I'll consider a table. You observe here, this is the table. On this table, I'll place an object which is 2 kgs of weight. Now what I'll do, I'll apply force on this object. 4 Newton's force I'll apply on this object towards this direction. If I apply force on this towards this direction, then object moves like this. Okay. If I apply force to this towards this direction, then object moves towards this direction. Okay, you observe here, I consider a table. On this, I'll place a object which is of 2 kgs of weight. Again, I'll apply 4 Newton's force to this towards downward direction. Towards downward direction. I'll apply 4 Newton units of force towards downward direction. Then this object moves. No, if I apply force towards downward direction, here table is there, strong opposite force is there. If I apply 4 Newton units force to this object towards downward direction, this object is not going to move anywhere. So what I am trying to say here, there is an object, if I apply 4 Newton units of force on it, where it moves, for that direction is needed or not. If I apply this force towards right side, the object moves towards right side. If I apply force towards left side, then the object moves towards left side. If I apply force towards downward direction, then object is not moving anywhere. So force is the physical quantity which need magnitude as well as direction. So whenever I'll discuss about force, at that time its direction is needed. So what I am trying to say, force is an example for vector quantity. To explain force, we need magnitude as well as direction. Don't worry, in mathematics, this force, velocity, acceleration, we are not going to use these words very frequently. You just need to know what is vector, a physical quantity which is having both magnitude and direction. The physical quantity which is having both is known as vector. Another examples for this vector is velocity, acceleration are the other examples for vector. I am saying again and again, if you are good in the theory part of vector algebra, this chapter is going to be very easy. What you learned till now? You learned the definition of scalar, you learned the definition of vector. What is the definition of scalar? I am asking you only, please respond. What is the definition of scalar? Good. What is scalar? A physical quantity which is having only magnitude but no direction is known as scalar. What is vector quantity? A physical quantity which is having both magnitude and direction is known as vector. You learned the definitions of scalar and vector. Now most important thing, representation of a vector. How we represent vector mathematically. This is very important. Please listen carefully. Representation of a vector. How we represent a vector mathematically. This is very important one. I am going to explain this in 4 points. Okay. So point number 1. What is point number 1? Vector is represented by a directed line segment with initial point and terminal point. You observe this first point. A vector is represented by directed. Directed means direction. Directed line segment with initial and terminal point. You see here, this is the line segment. Two endpoints will be there. For line segment, endpoints will be there. This is the line segment. If I give direction to this, this is what? This is directed line segment. This is from this is in this direction. So this is the initial point. This is the terminal point. Okay. Second point. You observe somewhere you saw like this. AB bar is a vector. What it means? AB bar is a vector means it's a vector whose initial point is A, terminal point is B, and it is directed from A to B. AB bar is a directed line segment. It is directed from A to B, whose initial point is A and terminal point is B. Suppose you need to represent this vector. How you represent? AB bar is a vector means its initial point is A, terminal point is B, and it is directed from A to B. This is the vector AB bar. BA bar means what? BA bar is a vector. It is directed from B to A, whose initial point is B, terminal point is A. I hope you are understanding. And one more very important point. The length of the vector AB bar. The length of the vector AB bar is known as magnitude of that vector. What is length of this vector AB bar? Length of this vector AB bar is the line segment AB. That means AB, the distance between the points A and B. AB is known as magnitude of the vector AB bar. So what is magnitude of a vector AB bar? The length of the vector AB bar is known as magnitude of that vector. Look here, magnitude of a vector AB bar is denoted by modulus of AB bar. What is magnitude of AB bar? Length of the vector AB bar is called magnitude of that vector. What is length of vector AB bar? Length of vector AB bar is AB. You look here, magnitude of vector AB bar is denoted like this. Magnitude of AB bar is what? Magnitude of AB bar is AB. How you read this? We read this as a modulus of AB bar, or you can read it as magnitude of AB bar. Both are correct only. Magnitude of AB bar is AB. Modulus of AB bar is AB. What is magnitude of the vector AB bar? The length of the vector AB bar is known as magnitude of that vector. Suppose you need to calculate magnitude of the vector PQ bar. Magnitude of the vector PQ bar. What is PQ bar? PQ bar is a vector whose initial point is P, terminal point is Q, and it is directed from P to Q. So what is the length of the vector PQ bar? Length of the vector PQ bar is PQ. Okay. So magnitude of PQ bar is PQ. So here total 3 points you learned. One more point is there. Before that, I quickly recall these 3 points. What is the first point? How we represent vector mathematically? Vector is represented by a directed line segment. You see here, it is a directed line segment with initial point and terminal point. Second point, if AB bar is a vector, whenever you see AB bar is a vector, what you will say? It is a directed line segment directed from A to B whose initial point is A and terminal point is B. Magnitude of a vector AB bar is denoted by modulus of AB bar. Magnitude of a vector AB bar is denoted by modulus of AB bar. What is modulus of AB bar? Modulus of AB bar is AB. Length of the vector AB bar is AB. Okay. Fourth point. You see this, what is the fourth point? Vectors are also denoted by single small letters by writing arrow over it. You see that A bar is a vector, B bar is a vector, C bar is a vector, like that you will see while doing the problems. Vectors are also denoted by single small letters by writing arrow over it, like A bar, B bar, C bar. What it means? Suppose a vector is something like this. Vector is represented by a directed line segment. This is AB bar. Instead of saying AB bar, simply I can name this as A bar also. While doing the problems, you will get more clarity about these things. Okay. So A bar is a vector means what? It is some directed line segment. So what is magnitude of A bar? Generally, magnitude of A bar we'll write it as small a. Magnitude of B bar we'll write it as small b. Like this. So you learn about representation of a vector. What you learn in this class? You learn the definition of scalar, a definition of vector, you learn representation of a vector. Representation of a vector is very important to understand the things further. What is scalar? A physical quantity which is having magnitude but no direction is called a scalar. What are the examples for scalar? Time, height, area, volume. These are the examples for scalar. What is vector? A physical quantity which is having both magnitude and direction is known as vector. What are the examples for vector? Force, velocity, acceleration. Representation of a vector. In representation of a vector, you learn total 4 points. What is the first point? Vectors are represented by a directed line segment with initial point and terminal point. Second point, if AB bar is a vector, it means that it is directed from A to B, whose initial point is A, terminal point is B. And third point, length of a vector AB bar is known as magnitude of that vector. Length of AB bar is AB. Magnitude of a vector AB bar is denoted by modulus of AB bar. What is modulus of AB bar? Modulus of AB bar is AB. What is the modulus of BD bar? Modulus of BD bar is BD, because length of the vector BD bar is distance between the points B and D. And fourth point, vectors are also represented by single small letters by writing arrow over it. Like A bar is a vector. While doing the problems, we'll write A bar is a vector, B bar is a vector, C bar is a vector, like that we'll write. In general, magnitude of A bar is written as A. Magnitude of B bar is written as B. Okay. In next class, we are going to learn different types of vectors. What is zero vector? What is unit vector? Very important definitions you are going to learn in next class. Don't miss that class. And once again, I am saying that this vector algebra chapter is very easy when you are good in the theory part. Okay, and if you like this video, please drop a like for this video and share this video with your friends so that they'll also will get benefit. In case if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, subscribe now. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Bye bye. Hello everyone. I am Balaji Rao. Welcome to BR Max class. This is second class on vector algebra chapter. In first class, we learned the definition of scalar, definition of vector, and very important part, how we represent a vector mathematically. In this class, we are going to learn multiplication of a vector by a scalar. We will learn the definition of zero vector with the help of examples. And also, we will learn what are coinitial vectors and what are equal vectors. All these things we are going to learn in this class. Without much delay, let's begin the class. You observe here, multiplication of a vector by a scalar. In last class also we learned that every real number is treated as a scalar. Multiplication of a vector by a scalar, it means we will multiply a vector A bar with some constant, with a number. That number is known as scalar. You observe here, I considered a vector a bar and m is any scalar. M is a scalar means here m is a number. So what is this definition? Multiplication of a vector by a scalar. So you multiply this vector a bar with this scalar m. M is some fixed number here. Okay. So what you will get if I multiply vector a bar with m? This is what? This is m a bar. What is m a bar? What is m a bar? M a bar is a vector or scalar. This is important. M a bar is a vector. M a bar is a vector. If I am saying it is a vector, it contains some direction. What is the direction of m a bar? Look here. M a bar is a vector which is parallel to a bar. M a bar is a vector which is parallel to a bar. Parallel I written. I not written the same direction. So here what I am trying to say, m a bar is a vector. M a bar is a vector which is parallel to a bar. Parallel to a bar means m a bar may be same direction of a bar or opposite direction of a bar. Opposite direction, exactly opposite. And magnitude of m a bar. Magnitude of m a bar is defined as modulus of m times of magnitude of a bar. We know that magnitude of a vector is nothing but length of the vector. Length of the vector is always positive. Now that's why here I kept modulus. Even though m is negative, modulus of m is positive now. So magnitude of m a bar is what? Modulus of m into magnitude of a bar. So what you learn? You learn that what is multiplication of a vector by a scalar. If I consider a vector a bar is a vector and m is any scalar, then m a bar is what? M into a bar is what? M into a bar is a vector which is parallel to a bar. And what is magnitude of m a bar? Magnitude of m a bar is modulus of m into modulus of a bar. We are going to use this formula very frequently. So remember this formula, modulus of m a bar is modulus of m into modulus of a bar. You see this note point, note 1, if m is positive, then a bar, m a bar will have same direction. A bar, m a bar will have same direction. I am not saying parallel here. A bar, m a bar will have same direction. Suppose, what about a bar and 2a bar? Here 2 is scalar. What about a bar and 2a bar? 2a bar is a vector which is in the direction of a bar. Whatever the direction of a bar will be there, 2a bar also will be of same direction. I hope you are understanding. What is the similarity of a bar and 2a bar? They are in the same direction. What is the difference of a bar and 2a bar? Their magnitudes are different. I hope you are understanding. What is this note 1? If m is positive, if the scalar is positive, then a bar and m a bar will have same direction. This we are going to use very frequently. Please keep this point in your mind. Okay. You observe this point. If m is negative, then a bar, m a bar will have opposite direction. Exactly opposite direction. Suppose a bar minus 2a bar. What you will say about these two things? What is the direction of minus 2a bar? Exactly opposite direction of a bar. Suppose this is the vector a bar. What is the direction of minus 2a bar? The difference between them is their magnitude. And what is the direction of minus 2a bar? Exactly opposite direction of a bar. A bar is in this direction. Minus 2a bar will be in this direction. Exactly opposite direction of a bar. To understand these things more clearly, I am considering one more point. What do you know about a bar, 3a bar, 1 by 3 a bar? You see here, a bar is any vector. You suppose a bar is a vector with some direction. What is 3a bar? Here 3 is positive now. A bar, 3a bar will have same direction. You see here 1 by 3. 1 by 3 is positive or not? Yes, 1 by 3 is positive. So 1 by 3 into a bar. What do you know about these three vectors? They are of same direction. So what I want to do here to explain these things clearly, I will represent these vectors. I will consider a vector a bar. You know that vector is represented by a directed line segment. I consider a vector a bar. What do you know about 3a bar? A bar, 3a bar will have same direction. 3a bar. What is the difference of a bar and 3a bar? Their magnitudes are different. What is the similarity between a bar and 3a bar? They are of same direction. This is the vector 3a bar. You can observe a bar, 3a bar are in the same direction. Their magnitudes are different. What do you know about 1 by 3 into a bar? These are all, see here, m a bar, here m is positive now. So these vectors along the direction of a bar only. 1 by 3 into a bar, it will be like this. It will be of same direction of a bar, but its magnitude is different. 1 by 3 into a bar. Okay. Now I will consider one more vector, that is minus 3a bar. A bar is any vector. How this minus 3a bar looks? See, it will be like this. It will be like this. This is minus 3a bar. Minus 3a bar is a vector which is opposite direction of a bar. This is a bar, na? This exactly opposite direction. This a bar is in this direction. Minus 3a bar will be of this direction. So what you learned till now? You learned multiplication of a vector by a scalar. If a bar is any vector and m is any scalar, then m into a bar is a vector which is parallel to a bar. If m is positive, a bar, ma bar will have same direction. If m is negative, a bar, ma bar will have opposite direction. What is modulus of ma bar formula? Modulus of ma bar is modulus of m into modulus of a bar. I hope you understand multiplication of a vector by a scalar. Now we will learn about zero vector. See, for the definition of zero vector, we can say in two ways. You already know representation of a vector. What is representation of a vector? A vector is represented by a directed line segment with initial point and terminal point. You observe here a vector whose initial and terminal points are coincident is called zero vector. Whose initial point and terminal points coincides means a bar is known as zero vector. B bar is known as zero vector. A vector whose initial point, terminal point both are same. Okay. A vector whose initial point and terminal points are coincident, then that vector is called zero vector. In another way also we can say this. A vector whose magnitude is 0 is called zero vector. A vector whose magnitude is 0 is called a zero vector. So you learn the definition of zero vector. What is the definition of zero vector? A vector whose initial point and terminal points are coincident, then that vector is called zero vector. In another simple way, you can say like this. A vector whose magnitude is 0 is known as zero vector, right? Related to zero vector, some important note points. You see here a bar. What is this a bar? For this vector, initial point, terminal point coincident. And what is the magnitude of this vector? What is the distance between the points a and a? That is 0. So a bar is a zero vector. What is this? B bar. B bar is a zero vector. C bar is a zero vector. These are the examples of zero vector. Okay. Second note point. Zero vector is denoted by like this. This is 0 bar or O bar. Zero vector is denoted like this. And very important point. I am saying zero vector. Zero vector. It is a vector. What is the direction of zero vector? How you represent zero vector? Zero vector is represented by fine dot. Zero vector is represented by fine dot. Fine dot. See here, this is zero vector. A vector whose initial point, terminal points both coincides. Okay. Now the point is, what is the direction of zero vector? As it is a zero vector, as I am saying it is a vector, it must contain direction. If there is no direction, then it is not a vector, right? So zero vector, what is the direction of zero vector? This is the fine dot, na? This is 360 degrees. The direction of zero vector is arbitrary. Whatever the direction you want in this 360 degrees, based on the situation, based on the problem, which direction you want, you can take. So the direction, zero vector contains direction or not? Yes, zero vector contains direction. What is the direction of zero vector? The direction of zero vector is arbitrary. Whatever the direction you want, you can choose. Co-initial vectors. It is very easy definition. Co-initial vectors. Vectors which are having same initial point. You know that for a vector, initial point, terminal point, two things will be there. Vectors which are having same initial point are known as co-initial vectors. Simple thing. Suppose there are 3 points are there, A, B, C, and O is the point. You see here, this OA bar is a vector, OB bar is another vector, OC bar is another vector, OA bar, OB bar, OC bar. Here, these are the three vectors with same initial point. OA bar initial point is O, OB bar initial point is O, OC bar initial point is O. These are the vectors which are having same initial point. So, OA bar, OB bar, OC bar are known as co-initial vectors. Similarly, we have one more definition, that is coterminous vector. Coterminous vectors itself says that the vectors which are having same terminal point. The vectors which are having same terminal point are known as coterminous vector. For example, you observe these vectors BA bar. BA bar means it is directed from B to A. Initial point is B, terminal point is A. BA bar, CA bar. These are the vectors which are having same terminal point, right? So, these vectors are known as coterminous vectors. Vectors which are having same terminal point are known as coterminous vectors, right? Next definition is equal vectors. Vectors which are having same magnitude and same direction are called equal vectors. Suppose I said that A bar comma B bar are equal vectors. A bar comma B bar are equal vectors means what? Their magnitude is same, their direction is also same. It is important. Their magnitude is same, their direction is also same. Okay, right? So, what you learn in this class? You learn multiplication of a vector by a scalar. What is the important point you need to know? A bar, MA bar are parallel. Okay, A bar, MA bar are parallel. And what is magnitude of MA bar? Modulus of MA bar formula is modulus of M into modulus of A bar. If M is positive, A bar, MA bar will have same direction. Next, you learn about zero vector. A vector whose initial point, terminal points coincident, that vector is called zero vector. In other words, you can say like this. A vector whose magnitude is 0 is called zero vector. Suppose AA bar is a zero vector, BB bar is a zero vector, like that. Next, you learn about co-initial vectors. Vectors which are having same initial point are known as co-initial vectors. And you learn about coterminous vectors also. Vectors which are having same terminal point are known as coterminous vectors. And last but not the least, equal vectors. The vectors which are having same magnitude and same direction are known as equal vectors. So I am saying once again, this vector algebra chapter is very easy if you are good in the theory part. Being good in theory part means for all these definitions you need to know their geometrical meaning. In next class we are going to learn about unit vector, negative of a vector. Those are very important, right? For all the definitions you try to understand their geometrical meaning. Then you can enjoy this chapter. How you are feeling this chapter? Please comment below. If you like this video, please drop a like for this video. In case if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, subscribe now. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello everyone. I am Balaji Rao. Welcome to BR Max class. This is third class on vector algebra. Till now, whatever we learned in vector algebra, in that two things are must. In case if you not learn those things, first you learn those things and try to understand this class. First one, representation of a vector. How we represent a vector, that we learn in class 1. Okay. And second one, multiplication of a vector by a scalar. Their geometrical meaning is very important. So please, without fail, you learn these two things from previous classes. In this class, we are going to learn very important definitions. Unit vector. You may feel that what is there in the definition of unit vector? But please try to watch complete explanation regarding unit vector, then you will come to know what is there in that. In this class, you are going to learn the definition of unit vector and you are going to learn negative of a vector. That is also very important one. And you will learn the position vector of a point. These three things I am going to discuss in this class. So before going to start this video, please drop a like for this video. Without much delay, let's begin the class. A vector whose magnitude is 1 unit is called unit vector. 1 unit means it may be 1 centimeter, 1 kilometer, whatever it is. A vector whose magnitude is 1 unit is called unit vector. You observe this note 1. From now onwards, wherever you see in the problems, if a bar is a unit vector, what it means? It means that its magnitude is 1 unit. So what I'll write? I'll write that magnitude of this vector is 1. When you know a bar is a unit vector, you can write that its magnitude is 1. Now the second note, which is very important one. Any vector can be made into a unit vector. Whatever the vector it may be, any vector other than 0 vector. You keep this in your mind, later I will discuss this point. Any vector, you take any vector whose magnitude is 5 units, 10 units, 20 units, whatever it is. Any vector can be made into a unit vector. How? By dividing that vector with its magnitude. By dividing that vector with its magnitude. I'll try to explain this with an example. Listen carefully. You observe here, let a bar is a vector. I consider a vector a bar. Is a bar is unit vector? I do not know. It may be any vector, but other than 0 vector. It may be any vector. Okay, a bar is any vector. What I written here? Any vector can be made into a unit vector. How? By dividing that vector with its magnitude. Okay, so this is vector a bar na, I'll divide this vector with its magnitude. This is a bar, I divided this vector with its magnitude. Then what happens? This is the unit vector, dividing that vector with its magnitude. So a bar divided by magnitude of a bar is a unit vector. Why? Why you can say that a bar divided by magnitude of a bar is a unit vector? I'll explain. A bar divided by modulus of a bar is a unit vector. Now you may got the question that why a bar divided by magnitude of a bar is a unit vector. What is the definition of unit vector? A vector whose magnitude is 1 unit is called unit vector. So what I'll do, I'll check its magnitude. If its magnitude is 1, then I can say that it is a unit vector. To understand this, I'll calculate its magnitude. Calculate magnitude of a bar divided by modulus of a bar. I am just calculating magnitude of this vector. Magnitude of this vector. In last class, you learned magnitude of MA bar. You learned this magnitude of MA bar. What is magnitude of MA bar? If M is positive, then this can be written as M times of modulus of A bar. This is the formula. So here, what I'll do, this I'll write it as 1 divided by modulus of A bar into A bar. Please observe, a bar divided by modulus of a bar. Magnitude of a bar is, this is a scalar, this is some constant. Length of a vector. This can be written as 1 by modulus of a bar into a bar. You see here, 2 by 3 is there. 2 by 3 can be written as 1 by 3 into 2 or not. You can write like this or not. Yes, you can write. In the same way, a bar divided by magnitude of a bar. This can be written as 1 divided by magnitude of a bar into a bar. Now, you observe, this is scalar, this is M. This is scalar M into a bar. Magnitude of M into a bar. What is the formula? In last class you learned magnitude of MA bar is M into magnitude of a bar if here M is positive. Okay. So here 1 is positive. Magnitude of a vector always positive because length of a vector always positive. Now this is clearly positive. What this can be written as M into 1 divided by modulus of a bar into, see here, MA bar can be written as M into modulus of a bar. Magnitude of a bar. You see this a bar will get cancelled. What you will get? You will get 1. So it is very clear that magnitude of this vector is 1. If magnitude of this vector is 1, then we can say that this is a unit vector. I hope you got clarity in this second point. What is the second point? Any vector can be made into a unit vector by dividing that vector with its magnitude. Okay, so a bar divided by magnitude of a bar is a unit vector. Okay, see what we are learning. We are learning about unit vector. You learned the definition of unit vector. A vector whose magnitude is 1 unit is called unit vector. And in this total 4 note points are there. Till now we completed 2 note points. First note point is what? If a bar is a vector, whenever you see this while doing the problems, directly we can write that magnitude of a bar is 1. Because the definition of unit vector itself says that its magnitude is 1. Second point is what? Very important point. Any vector can be made into a unit vector by dividing that vector with its magnitude. So here you see a bar is any vector. I don't know what is its magnitude, but I can make into a unit vector. How? By dividing that vector with its magnitude. A bar divided by magnitude of a bar is a unit vector. Why? I just explained that. When I calculate magnitude of this, I am getting 1. So that a bar divided by magnitude of a bar is a unit vector. Before going to third point, a bar divided by magnitude of a bar is a unit vector. This is a vector. A bar divided by magnitude of a bar is a vector. Vector means what? Which contains magnitude and direction. This contains direction. What is the direction of a bar divided by magnitude of a bar? That is the third point. Okay, you note down these 2 points. Now we will move to third point. Just now you learned that a bar divided by magnitude of a bar is a unit vector. Okay, now note 3 is what is the direction of this vector? See, this can be written like this: 1 divided by magnitude of a bar into a bar into a bar. In last class, multiplication of a vector by a scalar you learned. There what you learned in last class, a bar, ma bar. When m is positive, a bar, ma bar will have the same direction. That what we learned in last class. That's why I said in the beginning only. Representation of a vector is very important, and multiplication of a vector by a scalar is also important. Okay. So here you observe, this is positive, this is like m. This is like m a bar. So what is this? A bar divided by magnitude of a bar is a unit vector along the direction of a bar. Important one. This is a unit vector. In note 2 we clearly proved that. And what is the direction of a bar divided by magnitude of a bar? A bar divided by magnitude of a bar is a unit vector along the direction of a bar. So what is the direction of this vector? While doing the problems, they'll ask a question like this. Find a unit vector along the direction of a bar. Find the unit vector along the direction of a bar. Then what to calculate? You need to calculate a bar divided by magnitude of a bar. Okay. So third note also over. Fourth note is, if a bar is a unit vector, then it is denoted by a cap. If a bar is a unit vector, then it is denoted by a cap. Now from now onwards, wherever you see a cap means it is a unit vector. So b cap, whenever you saw that cap, this cap symbol, it tells that that is a unit vector. And I'll give the another note point also here. Suppose a cap is there. A cap can be written as a bar divided by magnitude of a bar. A bar divided by magnitude of a bar is what? It is the unit vector along the direction of a bar. And if you answer to my question now, it means that you understand what I explained till now in this class. Okay. My question is, what is the unit vector along the direction of b bar? In question they'll ask, find the unit vector along the direction of b bar. That means what to calculate? What to calculate? Yes, b bar divided by magnitude of b bar. What is this? This is the unit vector. What is the direction of this vector? Along the direction of b bar. Simply, we can write it as b cap. B cap. What is the unit vector along the direction of c bar? What is the unit vector along the direction of c bar? Very simple. C bar divided by magnitude of c bar. Now, what is the unit vector along the direction of AB bar? That is AB bar divided by magnitude of AB bar. It is very clear that AB bar divided by magnitude of A bar is a unit vector. What is the direction of this vector? AB bar is in which direction? AB bar divided by magnitude of AB bar is also in that direction only. I hope you understand what I explained in this unit vector. I'll quickly recall the definition of unit vector and these 5 points. Definition of unit vector. A vector whose magnitude is 1 unit is called unit vector. That is the definition. Note 1. If A bar is a unit vector, then you can write magnitude of A bar equal to 1. Second point, very important point. Any vector can be made into a unit vector by dividing that vector with its magnitude. I am trying to say that a bar is any vector. A bar is any vector. But a bar divided by magnitude of a bar is a unit vector. Third point is what? A bar divided by magnitude of a bar is a unit vector along the direction of a bar. B bar divided by magnitude of b bar is a unit vector along the direction of b bar. Fourth point, if a bar is a unit vector, then it is denoted by a cap. A cap. From now onwards, fifth point, from now onwards, wherever you see a cap, that can be written as a bar divided by magnitude of a bar. What is b bar divided by magnitude of b bar? It is a unit vector along the direction of b bar. I hope you understand the definition of unit vector. Now, another important definition. Negative of a vector. Let's see what is its definition. Before going to start the definition of negative of a vector, let me know how you felt the definition of unit vector. Easy or difficult? Comment below. Okay? What is negative of a vector? First, I'll consider a vector and I'll discuss what is negative of that vector. Let AB bar is a vector. AB bar is a vector means what you know? AB bar is a vector means it is directed from A to B, whose initial point is A, terminal point is B, and magnitude of AB bar is AB. That what you learned from representation of a vector. Okay? If AB bar is a vector, then the vector having same magnitude of AB bar. What is magnitude of AB bar? Magnitude of AB bar is AB, distance between the points A and B. The vector having same magnitude of AB bar but opposite direction of AB bar. See, opposite direction is different. Different directions are different. See, something they are going like this. Opposite direction. Something they are going like this. Something they are going like this. One vector is going like this. One vector going like this. This is not opposite. They are different direction. A bar is like this. Another vector B bar is like this. Then we say they are in opposite direction. Okay. Right. So what is the what we are learning here? Negative of a vector. To explain that, I taken a vector AB bar. The vector having same magnitude of AB bar but opposite direction of AB bar is called negative of a vector AB bar. Which one is called negative of a vector AB bar? A vector which is having same magnitude of AB bar but opposite direction of AB bar is called negative of a vector AB bar. Here I will consider a vector AB bar. You know that AB bar is a vector means it is a direct line segment whose initial point is A, terminal point is B, directed from A to B, and whose magnitude is AB. Now, what is the vector which is having same magnitude of AB bar but opposite direction of AB bar? See, AB bar is direction is from A to B now. What is exactly opposite direction? Opposite direction is from B to A. So obviously, you observe here, this is BA bar. If see same magnitude, what is the magnitude of BA bar? Magnitude of BA bar is BA. We know that distance AB is same as distance BA. Distance between the points A and B is same as distance between the points B and A. Here AB bar is a vector whose magnitude is AB and this is BA bar. That means this direction is from B to A whose magnitude is BA. Here we know that AB is same as BA. That means if you observe these two vectors, they are having same magnitude. What about their direction? This direction is from A to B. This direction is from B to A. That means they are in opposite direction. So this is the vector which is having same magnitude of AB bar but opposite direction of AB bar. So this vector is called, what is this vector name? Name this vector. What is this vector? It is from B to A now. This vector is BA bar. So BA bar is the negative of a vector AB bar. Try to understand. Negative of a vector AB bar is what? Negative of a vector AB bar is what? Is BA bar. You observe this point. Negative of a vector AB bar is denoted by minus AB bar. See, negative of a vector AB bar. Negative of a vector AB bar is denoted by minus AB bar. Here, you try to understand this please. Minus AB bar. Negative of a vector AB bar is what? Negative of a vector AB bar is what? Is BA bar. So, minus of AB bar is BA bar. Negative of a vector AB bar is BA bar. So, this is the main point we use very frequently. Negative of vector AB bar is what? BA bar. So note point, from now onwards, somewhere you saw that minus PQ bar. You saw minus PQ bar. What is the negative of a vector PQ bar? Negative of a vector PQ bar is QP bar. Somewhere you saw minus PQ bar, that you can write it as QP bar, or you saw like this, BD bar is there. BD bar is there. This can be written as, you just interchange initial point and terminal point. This can be written as minus DB bar. BD bar can be written as minus DB bar. What is negative of a vector DB bar? That is BD bar. It is just our convenience. While doing the problem, if you want to make this minus into positive, minus PQ bar is there, that you can write it as QP bar. BD bar is there, that you can write it as minus QB bar. This is important point in this definition. I hope you understand this. I hope you understand the definition of a negative vector. If you felt that this is very easy, please comment below. Now, next definition, that is also most important, but it is very easy. Position vector of a point. We use this very frequently. Position vector of point A, position vector of point B, we will use very frequently while doing exercise problems. So try to understand this. This is important and very easy also. What is position vector of a point? Listen please. Position vector, everyone will say only position vector. Position vector of what? Position vector of a point. Let P is any point in a space. You consider a point P in a space. Then OP bar is called position vector of a point P. This is important. OP bar is called position vector of a point P. This notation is important. Suppose there is a point P. What is the position vector of this point P? Here I marked point P means somewhere O, origin will be there. O, this is O is origin. Then OP bar is called position vector of point P. What is position vector of point Q? Q is a point in a space. What is position vector of a point Q? This notation only will use. What is position vector of point Q? OQ bar. OQ bar is the position vector of a point Q. Suppose I am saying that A is a point in a space. What is position vector of point A? What you need to answer? Position vector of point A is OA bar. It's very simple. Given that position vectors of points A, B, C, they'll mention like this. What it means? It means that they given that OA bar, OB bar, OC bar. So you understand what is position vector of a point. OA bar is what? Position vector of point A. What is OB bar? Position vector of point B. What is OC bar? Position vector of point C. You try to understand why I am saying this again and again, even though it is very easy, because we are going to use this very frequently in the exercise problem. I hope you understand this class. I hope you understand this class. If you like this video, please drop a like for this video and share this video with your friends so that they'll also will get benefit. In case if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, subscribe now. It's free. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hello everyone. I am Balaji Rao. Welcome to BR Max class. This is fourth class on vector algebra. Till now, whatever the definitions we learned in vector algebra, in those things, three definitions you cannot miss. First one is representation of a vector, that I did in first class. Next, multiplication of a vector by a scalar, that I did in second class. And third one is unit vector and its direction. I explained this in third class. In case if you not gone through all those things, I'll give the link of playlist of all those videos in cards that you can find here. In this class, we are going to learn about collinear vectors. Collinear vectors are also known as parallel vectors. And we will learn about like vectors, unlike vectors. And we will learn what are coplanar vectors. And we will learn what is free vector, what is localized vector. All these things we are going to learn in this class. So before going to start this video, please drop a like for this video. Without much delay, let's begin the class. First definition is collinear vectors. Here, important point is collinear vectors are also known as parallel vectors. Collinear vectors are also known as parallel vectors. What is the definition of collinear vectors? You see, the definition is vectors which lie on a same line. Vectors which lie on a same line or on parallel lines are called collinear vectors. You observe here, three parallel lines are there. On these parallel lines, there are some vectors. You observe AB bar. AB bar is a vector present on it. Okay, AB bar. And CB bar, you observe CB bar. CB bar, you observe here, there is a vector PQ bar. PQ bar. And you observe here, there is a vector YX bar. What do you know about these vectors? These vectors, suppose AB bar, CB bar, they lie on a same line. And what do you know about AB bar and YX bar? AB bar and YX bar are the vectors which lie on parallel lines. What is the definition of collinear vectors? Vectors which lie on a same line or on parallel lines are called collinear vectors. So what about these vectors? These vectors either lie on a same line or on parallel lines. So can I say these vectors are collinear vectors? Yes, as per this definition, I can say that these vectors are collinear vectors. And the important point is collinear vectors are also known as parallel vectors. Okay, now we are going to learn two important note points on collinear vectors. What do you know about A bar and MA bar? If M is positive, A bar, MA bar will be of same direction. If M is positive, A bar, MA bar will be in the same direction. If M is negative, A bar, MA bar are in opposite direction. Here, if you observe carefully, A bar, MA bar are parallel vectors. A bar, MA bar are collinear vectors. You memorize this. Collinear vectors are also known as parallel vectors. A bar, MA bar. What do you know about A bar, MA bar? They are in the same direction or they are in the opposite direction. You observe here, whatever the vectors I consider here, see AB bar, PQ bar in the same direction, AB bar, CB bar in the opposite direction. Then also we are saying these are all collinear vectors only na? Parallel lines. It may be of same direction or it may be of opposite direction. What is the note point here? If I observe a vector and its scalar multiplication, what I know, if M is positive, the vectors are in the same direction. Okay, so if M is negative, A bar, MA bar are in the opposite direction. So what I am trying to say here, A bar, MA bar are the collinear vectors. A bar, MA bar are called parallel vectors. I hope you are getting this point. If two vectors A bar comma B bar are collinear, I already know that A bar, B bar are collinear. Then what I can say? A bar is lambda times of B bar. Here lambda is any scalar like M. Please try to understand, this is very useful point. If the vectors A bar comma B bar are collinear, then A bar can be expressed as lambda times of B bar or B bar can be expressed as lambda times of A bar. So what is the main point I am trying to say? If two vectors A bar comma B bar are collinear, then one vector can be expressed as scalar multiplication of other vector. If two vectors A bar comma B bar are collinear, then one vector can be expressed as scalar multiplication of other vector. So if A bar equal to lambda times of B bar, then we can say that the vectors A bar comma B bar are collinear. Or if B bar equal to lambda times of A bar, then also I can say that the vectors A bar comma B bar are collinear. And second important note point in this, you consider three collinear points. You consider three collinear points I am saying. Let A comma B comma C are three collinear points. Collinear points means what? Three or more points are said to be collinear if they lie on a same line. You observe here, I consider a line. You can see the 3 points ABC lie on a same line. Then I can say that these 3 points are collinear. Now, whatever the vectors you take here, AB bar, BC bar, AC bar, you observe, based on these 3 points, I can take the vectors AB bar, AC bar, BC bar. What those vectors are? Those vectors lies on a same line na? So AB bar, BC bar, AC bar lie on a same line. So I can say that AB bar, BC bar, AC bar are collinear vectors. Here in note 1 what you learn, if two vectors are collinear, then one vector can be expressed as scalar multiplication of another vector. Here AB bar, BC bar, AC bar are collinear vectors na. So one vector can be expressed as scalar multiplication of another vector. What point I am trying to say, if 3 points ABC are collinear, then AB bar is lambda times of AC bar. One vector is scalar multiplication of another vector. I can write like this, or one vector can be expressed as scalar multiplication of another vector. AB bar equal to lambda times of BC bar. And one more thing is, what point you need to know from this note too. To prove 3 points are collinear, if we prove any one of these things, it is enough. So while doing the problems, if they ask to prove that 3 points are collinear, if you prove that AB bar equal to lambda times of AC bar, it means that the points are collinear. What you learn about collinear vectors? First point, collinear vectors are also known as parallel vectors. What is the definition of collinear vectors? Vectors which lie on a same line or on parallel lines are called collinear vectors. Two important note points you learn in this definition. If two vectors are collinear vectors, then one vector can be expressed as scalar multiplication of another vector. If A bar comma B bar are collinear vectors, then A bar equal to lambda times of B bar or B bar equal to lambda times of A bar. Second note point is what? If you want to prove that 3 points are collinear, if you prove any one of these three things, AB bar equal to lambda times of AC bar, or AB bar equal to lambda times of BC bar, or AC bar equal to lambda times of BC bar, if you prove any one of what the main thing here, one vector is scalar multiplication of another vector, then I can say that those 3 points are collinear. Now we will learn about like vectors and unlike vectors. What are like vectors? Vectors which are in the same direction are known as like vectors. Vectors which are in the same direction are known as like vectors. For example, you observe here AB bar, PQ bar. AB bar directed from A to B, PQ bar directed from P to Q. AB bar, PQ bar, they are in the same direction. So as per this diagram, AB bar, PQ bar are like vectors. What is the definition of like vectors? Very simple. The vectors which are in the same direction are known as like vectors. And you see here, what about CB bar directed from C to B? What about YX bar? CB bar, YX bar, they are in the same direction. So CB bar, YX bar are also like vectors. Next definition is unlike vectors. What are unlike vectors? The vectors which are in opposite direction, not a different direction. The vectors which are in opposite direction are called unlike vectors. Like vectors means vectors which are in the same direction. Unlike vectors means vectors which are in the opposite direction, like this only, opposite direction. See, not this one, this is different direction. One vector is going like this, one vector is going like this, means they are different direction. This is not opposite direction. See, A bar, one vector is like this, another vector is exactly like opposite to this. These are opposite, right? What are unlike vectors? Vectors which are in opposite direction are called unlike vectors. You observe here AB bar and CB bar. AB bar and CB bar. AB bar is like this, CB bar is exactly opposite to this, right? So I can say that AB bar, CB bar are unlike vectors because they are in opposite direction. You observe this PQ bar and YX bar. PQ bar and YX bar, they are exactly in opposite direction. So I can say that PQ bar and YX bar are unlike vectors because they are in opposite direction. So you learn about like vectors and unlike vectors. See, our next definition is localized vectors and free vectors. Many students confuse to understand what are localized vectors and what are free vectors. And one point here, in mathematics, whatever the vectors we use in our syllabus, they are all free vectors unless otherwise stated. First, we will learn what is meant by localized vectors and what is meant by free vectors. First, localized vectors. What is the definition of localized vector? A vector which is drawn parallel to given vector through a specified point. This is important. Through a specified point in a space is called localized vector. A vector which is drawn parallel to a given vector through a specified point is called localized vector. To explain this, I will consider an example. With that example, you will get more clarity. You see here, I'll consider a table. On this table, I'll place a rigid body, that means a solid body. Now what I'll do, I'll apply force on this body. This is the line of action. There is a table, a rigid body is there. I applied a force on this body at this point. Now, you see here a vector which is drawn parallel to a given vector. Suppose this is the given vector. A vector which is drawn parallel to a given vector through a specified point in a space is called localized vector. Now what I'll do, same force I'll apply on this object at this point. What happens if I applied same force on this object at this point? You observe here, this is the vector which is parallel to this vector at a specified point. At this point I am applying force. You please observe here, this is the object, rigid object. I am applying force on it. It is moving as per the line of action, right? You observe, this object is moving as per line of action. Now, if I apply same force at this point, see what happened? If I apply the force on the same object here at this point, you observe what happened? It fall down. So, what happened here? In these two vectors, point of action is well defined. See, at this point, if I apply, then the object moves as per line of action, right? If I apply the force at this point, it falls down, right? So these vectors are known as localized vectors. What point you need to know here? The point of action is well defined. The point of action is well defined. In localized vectors, point of action is well defined. What are free vectors? The definition of free vectors I'll write first. Definition of free vector. You please observe the definition of free vector. A vector depends only on its length and direction. A vector depends only on its length and direction. The vector which depends on only its length and direction. This is important. It is independent of its position in space. It is independent of its position in space. Is called a free vector. I'll try to explain this. Free vectors depends upon its length and direction, and it is independent from its position in space, are called free vectors. I'll explain with the help of diagram, don't worry. You see here, one more point I written here. A free vector can be taken anywhere in space. A free vector can be taken anywhere in space by choosing an arbitrary initial point. You consider this vector. You observe this vector. This is the director line segment with initial point and terminal point. Is independent from its position. This vector is independent from its position. This can be chosen anywhere in space by choosing arbitrary initial point. Suppose this initial point I chosen here. Suppose I choose an initial point here. The same vector I can move here. The same vector I can move here. What I want here? I want its direction and length. Both are of same direction and both are of same length. This vector is free vector. It can be chosen anywhere in space by choosing arbitrary initial point. You see here, a free vector can be taken anywhere in space by choosing arbitrary initial point. If I want to move this vector to here, first I will choose arbitrary initial point. This vector only I'll move to here. This vector is of same magnitude and same direction. This is free vector. This is free vector. What is free vector? A free vector can be taken anywhere in space by choosing arbitrary initial point. In our syllabus, whatever the vectors we will deal, they are all free vectors. In localized vectors, point of action is well defined. It acts as per the line of action. Okay, so localized vectors, free vectors, exactly opposite. In localized vectors, point of action is well defined, but in free vectors, no point of action. Free vectors, no point of action. You see here, a vector depends only on its length and direction, and it is independent from its position in space. I hope you understand what are localized vectors and free vectors. Now, last definition in this class, coplanar vectors. See, I'll explain this as simple as possible. Coplanar vectors. The vectors which lie on a same plane are called coplanar vectors. Vectors which lie on a same plane. What is plane? A flat surface is called plane. This is the flat surface. What is the definition of coplanar vectors? The vectors which lie on a same plane are called coplanar vectors. This much knowledge is enough in our mathematics. I am not going the vectors which are parallel to the same plane. I am not discussing. We'll keep it simple. What is the definition of coplanar vectors? The vectors which lie on a same plane are called coplanar. Suppose I'll take three vectors, A bar, B bar, C bar, like this in this plane. The vectors which lie on a same plane are called coplanar vectors. Coplanar, which lie in a same plane. I hope you understand what we learned in this class. So in this class, collinear vectors, parallel vectors definition is very important. Once again, I am saying that this chapter is very easy if you are good in the theory part. Being good in theory part is nothing but knowing the geometrical meaning of all the definitions. I hope you understand this class. If you like this video, please drop a like and share this video with your friends so that they'll also will get benefit. In case if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, subscribe now. It's free. Thanks for watching this video. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello everyone. I am Balaji Rao. Welcome to BR Maths class. This is 5th class on vector algebra chapter. In first 4 classes, we learned theory part related to first exercise. To understand first exercise very well, basic definitions of vector algebra till now what you learned are important. Till now whatever the definitions we learned, in that representation of a vector is important. Second one, multiplication of a vector by a scalar, that is important. Third one, the definition of unit vector and its direction. Fourth one, the definition of collinear vectors. You must know these definitions to do these problems very easily. In case if you not watched all those definitions, I'll give that playlist link here in cards you can find. Before going to start this video, please drop a like for this video. Without much delay, let's begin the class. You see, first question in this exercise number 10.1. What is the first question? Represent graphically. What to represent graphically? Displacement of 40 kilometers, 30 degrees east of north. You observe, I consider east, west, north, south. I need to represent graphically a displacement of 40 kilometers and 30 degrees east of north. First, displacement of 40 kilometers they are saying na? I'll mark that displacement of 40 kilometers. This is the displacement of 40 kilometers. I'll suppose 10, 20, 30, 40 like this. This is the displacement of 40 kilometers. Okay. Now further what they are saying, what is the direction? 30 degrees east of north. Many students confuse here. East of north. East of north means from north you need to achieve east. East of north means from north you need to achieve east. From north you need to achieve east means this angle, north to east. East of north means you need to consider north to east. What is this they are saying? This is 30 degrees. So I represented the displacement which is of 40 kilometers and 30 degrees east of north. Question number 2. What they are asking? Classify the following measure as scalars and vectors. They given some measures here. We need to classify, are they scalars or vectors? Okay, you already know the definition of scalar and vector. What is the definition of scalar? A physical quantity which is having only magnitude but no direction is called a scalar. What is vector? A physical quantity which is having both magnitude and direction is called vector. You observe this first one. This is 10 kgs. In this, what is this 10 kgs? Magnitude is there in this. Magnitude is 10. Any direction is there here? No. So, it is a physical quantity which is having only magnitude but no direction. Moreover, it is mass. Mass is a scalar. So, this is the physical quantity which is having only magnitude but no direction. That's why this is scalar. Okay. You observe the second one, 2 meters northwest. Here, in this physical quantity, magnitude is there? Yes, magnitude is there. In this physical quantity, direction is there. Yes, northwest direction is there. This is the physical quantity which is having both magnitude and direction. So this measure is a vector. Why it is a vector? Because it is a physical quantity which is having both magnitude and direction. You observe this 40 degrees. You observe this 40 degrees. Can you observe any direction here? No, it is just a magnitude. 40 degrees is just a magnitude. So this is the physical quantity which is having only magnitude but no direction. So 40 degrees is what? 40 degrees is a scalar. Okay. Now you see here 40 watt. Watt is the units of power. Units of power. Power is a scalar quantity because power is work done by time. Work done is a scalar, time also scalar. So 40 watt is a scalar. You observe this next bit, 10 power minus 19 coulombs. Coulombs, these are the units of electric charge. Electric charge is a scalar. In this no direction is there. This is the physical quantity which is having only magnitude. So this is scalar. I hope you are understanding. Now you see 20 meter per second square. Meter per second square are the units of acceleration. In the first class only we learned velocity, force, acceleration are the vectors. These are the units of acceleration. So 20 meter per second square. So this is the physical quantity which is having both magnitude and direction. So it is a vector. This is vector quantity. I hope you understand this. You observe this question number 3. What they are asking in this question? Classify the following as scalar and vector quantities. Here they given 5 bits. By seeing these 5 bits, you need to decide are they vectors or scalars. See, these are the standard terms. Time period. While explaining the definition of scalar, I explained that time is a scalar quantity. So here time period. What is time period? This is a scalar quantity. Okay. Distance. Distance is also scalar quantity. These are the standard terms. Those who are studying physics, they can easily say what they are. They are vectors or scalars. Distance. Distance is the physical quantity which is having only magnitude but no direction. So distance is a scalar quantity. Force. I given detailed explanation when vector definition is going on. Force is clearly vector quantity. Force is a physical quantity which is having both magnitude and direction. So this is vector. Force is a vector quantity. I explained this more clearly in the first class of vector chapter, right? Force is a vector quantity, velocity is a vector quantity, acceleration is a vector quantity. So here velocity. What is velocity? Velocity is a vector quantity, right? Work done, clearly in last bit also I explained. Work done is a scalar. Work done is a physical quantity which is having only magnitude but no direction. Work done is a scalar quantity. So whatever the terms are written here, these are the standard terms. Time, scalar. Distance, scalar. Force, vector. Velocity, vector. Work done, scalar. Okay? Yes, you observe this question number 4. In figure, they are saying it is a square. This figure they given in the question, they are saying it is a square. Identify the following vectors. You observe first bit, co-initial vectors. Co-initial vectors means the vectors which are having same initial point are called co-initial vectors. You observe this diagram. See, A bar is the vector directed like this. You see a direction given here. This is the vector directed like this. If the vector is directed like this, this is the initial point of A bar. This is the terminal point of A bar. You know that in mathematics, vectors are represented by a directed line segment. And you observe this vector named as D bar. This vector is named as D bar. This direction is, you observe here, this is in this direction. That means this is the initial point, this is the terminal point. You observe the vectors. A bar, initial point is this. D bar, initial point is this. That means A bar comma D bar are the vectors which are having same initial point. What is the definition of co-initial vectors? Vectors which are having same initial point are called co-initial vectors. Here, what are the vectors which are having same initial point? A bar and D bar are the vectors which are co-initial because these are the vectors having same initial point. Okay. Second one you see, equal vectors. In this diagram, which of the following are equal vectors? Equal vectors. You learned this definition. Equal vectors means the vectors which are having same magnitude and same direction. As this is a square, all 4 vectors are having equal magnitude only. Now we want which are in the same direction. You observe this vector a bar and c bar. A bar is in this direction, c bar is in opposite direction. These are not equal vectors. You observe this d bar, b bar. D bar, B bar. As it is a square, both are having same magnitude. Direction of D bar is like this, direction of B bar is like this. The vectors D bars, B bars have same direction. The vectors having same magnitude and same direction. So D bar comma B bar are the equal vectors. So D bar comma B bar are the equal vectors. Now you observe third one, collinear but not equal. Collinear vectors. You learned this in last class. What are collinear vectors? Vectors which lie on a same line or on parallel lines. Vectors which lie on a same line or on parallel lines are called collinear vectors. Collinear vectors but not equal. They are saying the vectors are collinear but not equal. You observe B bar, D bar. B bar, D bar are the parallel vectors. You know that collinear vectors are also known as parallel vectors. B bar, D bar are the collinear vectors. But here B bar, D bar are equal vectors. In the question they are saying that the vectors which are collinear but not equal. Actually these are collinear vectors. But in the question they are saying that the collinear but not equal. As these are equal, I cannot consider these two. Now you observe A bar, C bar. A bar, C bar, are they parallel? Parallel means no need of direction. You observe this is in this direction, this is exactly opposite direction. These two vectors are parallel or not? As it is a square, opposite sides are parallel. This and this are parallel. Remember, collinear vectors are also known as parallel vectors. So here A bar comma C bar are the collinear vectors. They are not equal. You observe, are they equal? Their magnitude is same but their direction is not same. This is going like this, this is going like this. So A bar comma C bar are the collinear vectors. Collinear vectors are also known as parallel vectors. So A bar comma C bar are the collinear vectors but not equal. I hope you understand this. You observe the last question. What they are asking? Answer the following as true or false. By reading the statement, you need to identify whether it is true or false. To understand this, you must know the definition of collinear vectors. I explained the definition of collinear vectors in last class. What are collinear vectors? Vectors which lie on same line or on parallel lines are called collinear vectors. And if two vectors A bar comma B bar are collinear, then one vector can be expressed as scalar multiplication of other vector. Okay, you observe here, for this vector, if you multiply with minus, you are getting this vector. You know that A bar, MA bar are collinear vectors. So here A bar minus A bar are collinear vectors because one vector can be expressed as scalar multiplication of other. Okay, so here this is true or false? Yes, it is true. You can understand this easily if you know the definition of collinear vectors. Now you observe the second one. Two collinear vectors are always equal in magnitude. Two collinear vectors are always equal in magnitude. In the definition of collinear vectors, there is no such condition. What is the definition of collinear vectors? Vectors which lie on same line or on parallel lines. There is no condition related to magnitude. What they are saying, two collinear vectors always equal in magnitude. They are saying always. They may be equal, may not be equal, but we cannot say that always equal in magnitude. Collinear vectors always equal in magnitude. This always is the wrong term here, right? So this is false. This statement is false. You can understand these things only when you are good in the definition of collinear vectors. Okay. Now you observe two vectors having same magnitude. Two vectors having same magnitude are collinear. How can we say this? Two vectors having same magnitude are collinear. You observe here, I consider two vectors with same magnitude. What they are saying? Two vectors having same magnitude are collinear. Collinear means what? Vectors which lie on a same line or on parallel lines. Even though these two vectors magnitude are equal, but they are not parallel. So two vectors having same magnitude are collinear. It's 100% wrong. You can easily identify. So this is true or false? This is false statement. Now last bit in this, two collinear vectors have same magnitude are equal. Two collinear vectors having same magnitude are equal. Suppose this vector is in this direction, this vector is in this direction. These vectors lies on parallel lines. Yes, these vectors lies on parallel lines. So these are collinear vectors. Whatever vectors I drawn here, they are collinear vectors. Are they equal vectors? What is the definition of equal vectors? Vectors which are having same magnitude and same direction. Here magnitude is same, but direction is not same na? Okay. So here these are the collinear vectors. These are the collinear vectors which are having same magnitude, but they are not equal. But what they are saying, two collinear vectors having same magnitude are equal vectors, they are saying. This is wrong statement. So this is false. I hope you understand this first exercise solutions. Right? This is very easy exercise. You need basic definitions of vector algebra. If you like this video, please drop a like for this video and share this video with your friends so that they'll also will get benefit. In case if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, subscribe now. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.